So here's a question that might sound ridiculous. What if the people who don't care about their birthdays are actually onto something? Look, I get it. We live in a world where people plan birthday weeks, sometimes entire birthday months. Instagram stories count down to the big day like it's a national holiday. Meanwhile, you're over here treating your birthday like any other Wednesday. Your friends think something's wrong with you. Your family's confused. Why won't you let us celebrate? They ask, as if you're personally attacking them by not wanting a party. But here's what nobody's telling you. Your indifference to birthdays might actually reveal something fascinating about how your brain works. We're not talking about being antisocial or ungrateful. We're talking about deep psychological patterns, the kind shaped by childhood experiences, your relationship with control, and yes, even your awareness of mortality. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why some brilliant, well-adjusted people would rather skip the whole birthday spectacle entirely. And spoiler alert, it has nothing to do with being a party pooper. Let's start with something most people don't realize about birthday celebrations. You're not actually in charge of your own day. Think about it. Other people pick the venue. They choose what gift to give you. They decide when to surprise you. And then, oh God, then comes the song. You know the one. You're sitting there, trapped, while people stare at you singing that melody that somehow sounds worse every single year. Here's what's happening psychologically. You become a passenger in your own story. Research in personality psychology shows that people with what's called a high internal locus of control, basically, people who believe they steer their own ship, often feel genuine distress during traditional birthday celebrations. They're not being difficult. Their brains are literally wired to need autonomy. For these individuals, a normal Tuesday where they choose their coffee shop, their lunch, their evening plans, that feels better than a birthday where everyone else is running the show. It's not about rejecting love or appreciation. It's about maintaining agency over your own experience. Okay, here's where things get interesting and maybe a little uncomfortable. Some people who don't care about birthdays actually care too much. Yeah, you heard that right. Picture this scenario. You're a kid. It's your birthday. You've spent weeks imagining this perfect day, balloons everywhere, all your friends showing up, that toy you've been obsessing over finally in your hands. And then, your best friend cancels. The cake order gets messed up. Your sibling throws a tantrum, and suddenly, they're getting all the attention. Welcome to what psychologists call the expectation-reality gap. Our brains are constantly making predictions about the future. We create mental simulations of how things will unfold. And when reality crashes into those expectations and falls short, it hurts. Like, genuinely hurts. So here's the defense mechanism some people develop. If you don't expect anything, you can't be disappointed. It's emotional insurance. You're not setting yourself up for failure because you never entered the game in the first place. These people learned early, maybe from one forgotten birthday, maybe from celebration that went sideways, that no expectations equals no heartbreak. They're not being modest. They're being strategic. All right. Let's get a little existential for a minute. Birthdays are essentially mortality counters. You're celebrating being 1 year closer to death. Congratulations. Here's some cake and a reminder that time is passing and you can't stop it. There's this concept in psychology called terror management theory. Yes, that's the actual name, which explores how humans cope with knowing we're all going to die eventually. And birthdays? They're annual alarm clocks reminding us the meter's running. Now, some people cope by celebrating harder. I'm alive. Let's party. Energy, gratitude, joy. But others cope through strategic avoidance. Studies on mortality salience, being consciously reminded of death, show that certain personality types respond by minimizing milestone celebrations. They're not sitting around thinking, this birthday brings me closer to the void. It's subconscious. Their brain quietly freaks out, and treating the day normally becomes a soothing ritual. The irony? Celebrating life by pretending it's not special. Wild, right? Here's something that'll blow your mind. Some of the people who act like they don't care about birthdays are actually obsessed with them. Confused? Let me explain. There's a subset of birthday ignorers who suffer from what I call idealization paralysis. They have this Pinterest-perfect vision of what their birthday should be. The perfect people, perfect moments, perfect feelings. The fantasy is so beautiful, so flawless, that reality could never compete. So what do? They shut down the whole operation. It's like having an incredible novel in your head, but never writing it down because the actual words could never match your imagination. These people often score high in openness and neuroticism on personality tests. They're creative, they feel deeply, and they're their own harshest critics. The idealized birthday in their mind is perfect. Anything less feels like failure. So they protect the fantasy by never testing it against reality. From the outside, it looks like they don't care. But inside, they care intensely. They're just terrified of disappointing themselves. Psychologist Brené Brown has a term for this: foreboding joy, the inability to embrace positive experiences because you're already bracing for disappointment. Let's zoom out for a second, because not everyone grew up believing birthdays are the ultimate main character moment. In many collectivist cultures, think parts of Asia, Africa, Latin America, individual birthdays aren't emphasized the way they are in Western societies. In some places, people don't even celebrate on their actual birth date. In others, the focus is on honoring elders or family unity, not making one person feel special for existing another year. If you grew up in an environment where birthdays were just normal days, then treating them casually isn't psychological avoidance. It's just normal. Your baseline is different. You never learned that birthdays are supposed to be this monumental production. Context always matters. Okay, here's the twist that might make you rethink everything. Some people who treat their birthday like a normal day are actually the most psychologically healthy people around. Stay with me. Authentic self-esteem, the real, genuine kind, comes from internal validation, not external celebration. People with secure attachment styles and high self-worth don't need a designated day to feel valued. They feel it constantly. The birthday is nice, sure, but it doesn't define their worth. They already know their value. Meanwhile, people who need their birthday to be spectacular, not always, but sometimes, that can be compensation for not feeling special the other 364 days of the year. Food for thought. So what's the psychology of people who treat their birthday like just another day? It's complicated. It's about control. It's about protection. It's cultural programming, existential anxiety, impossible standards, or genuine self-worth. Or maybe, just maybe, they really did forget their birthday is coming up and they're not that deep. Either way works. Next time someone casually mentions it's their birthday, without making a big deal, don't assume they're being weird. They might just be navigating the complex psychological landscape of modern life in a way that feels safest to them. And honestly, that's pretty valid. Before you go, drop a comment telling me which explanation resonated most with you. The control thing? The disappointment defense? The mortality anxiety? I'm genuinely curious. And if you found this fascinating, hit that subscribe button. I make videos breaking down psychology topics like this every week. If you really want to support the channel, consider becoming a member. It genuinely helps me keep researching and creating content that makes complex psychology accessible. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.